Hello everyone, it's Leah from Dime Culture, and today's video is going to be a review of QoR Paint. And I also thought we could have a discussion about shooting for perfection / only thinking you need to share perfection on social media. I've found that personally, when I'm watching reviews, there are two types of reviews I like to watch. There's the ones that are really analytical about the product, and then those that actually show the product being used and then have a more realistic conversation about life or how the artist is dealing with a certain situation in their current day, things like that. And I thought today's video, because I've already done sort of an analytical video about QoR, is that today I can just give you my overview and final thoughts about it, and then we can talk about the topic. So first, I did do a video already about QoR's introductory set. It's a first impressions video. I will link to it in the description and have a little pop-up show up right about now. In that video, I do show mixing charts. I discuss saving them to pans and tube sizing and things like that. So if you want something more in-depth about it, I would definitely check that out afterwards if you'd like. Today, I want to just quickly go over first what QoR is and how it's different from other manufacturers. And it all comes down to what it's made with. So QoR advertises themselves as modern. And what makes them modern is actually the materials they're using. So they're using traditional pigments, but how they are keeping those bound together, so the binder, it is a man-made, which I believe it is man-made, binder that is exclusive to them. So it's not gum arabic or honey. It is something called Ocusol or you know what? It sounds like a household cleaning item, chemical. But because I know I'm butchering the word right there. But yeah, they use something that's completely exclusive to them and different. It allows their colors to really pop and be super vibrant, which you can see right here. So the swatches on the left side are dried swatches, and you can really see those colors. They pop. And right now what I'm doing is just testing out my colors, mixing with them. I've had QoR paints for quite some time now. The introductory set wasn't my first dabble into QoR paints. So what I want to do before actually sitting down and painting with them was refamiliarize myself with my QoR paints. Because it's been a while since I've touched my watercolors. I love using my watercolors, but I have been so attracted to using my acrylic gouache that I haven't really been paying much attention to my watercolors, but I really wanted to paint, and I thought what a great video to get us back into using watercolors and doing some watercoloring as a group here on Dime Culture is to actually review one of the brands I really like using. Now you might be thinking, why do you really like this brand? Because you've said it a couple of times now, Leah. So why I like using QoR is because of how vibrant the colors are. I am the type of person that when I'm using paint, I am really attracted to bright, vibrant colors, having that color really emote emotions, bring it out, be eye-popping. And I love how QoR has that quality. And I love how they layer. So once it's dry, I can actually add on extra layers and make it even more, just make it even more, like a more. No, there's more depth, more vibrancy, more, just more, that's the only way I can describe it. I know there are a lot of people out there that have done reviews and have given QoR bad reviews, and then there are those that have given it good reviews. And when it comes to the bad reviews, they mostly focus on two things. QoR paints not being good for re-wetting once dry, and then also their tonal shift, saying that it's not true, the colors don't stay vibrant. When it comes to using my QoR paints in a pan, I actually love using them in a pan versus fresh from a tube. The colors are not dulled down. They don't take forever to re-wet like other ones. So, for example, Winsor & Newton, They're a brand name that is just known everywhere in the watercolor community. Like, I feel like they were the first ones I ever used in my entire life for watercolors because that's what was recommended. That's what you were supposed to use. But re-wetting them in a pan was so difficult because they weren't designed for it. And even though QoR paints technically weren't designed for re-wetting in a pan, they work amazing. The colors, you spritz them with water, you wait like 2 seconds while you wet your paintbrush, and then you grab it and you're good to go. So I don't know what people are talking about when it says that they're not good for re-wetting, that the colors are different. They're not different. I actually did a color swatching test, and I will link a blog posting. So what I'm going to do is on Dime Culture's website, I'm going to post an article showing some visuals just to give you some of that added extra oomph of information. But in one of them, I did a tube test versus a pan test, and the pan test was actually more vibrant than the tube test. So yeah, debunked right there. Next is how the paints actually tonal shift. And right now, watching the painting right now, you can see that the background, the sky, the colors shifted. But when I was painting them in my first sketchbook that you saw where I was swatching and testing, there was no tonal shift at all. Like, the colors dried and they were still super bright. So why is it that right now the colors got, more diluted / muted looking? Well, I'll tell you, it's the paper you use. And because of this tonal shift, this is what really sparked me questioning whether or not I should be sharing this video or should not be sharing this video. And I chose to share it because this is reality. Sometimes we creators, we artists, we think we have to share something that's perfect. We have to only show on social media that it has to look one way. The same thing is for even if you aren't a creator. If you have to show your perfect life, your highlight reels. You don't share the stuff that came out wrong or that you think is wrong but isn't. This video isn't perfect. Where I was sitting by the window, the sun kept coming and going, so there's shadow. I created shadow by getting closer. It gets brighter and darker because of the lights changing outside and cloud coverage and me blocking the light. And the paint came out muted even though I'm saying that this color is super vibrant. It's not a perfect video, but that's what makes it perfect to me. So it's reality, it's truth. And the truth is, with this paint, which I love so much, it matters what sketchbook you're using. And I know that for some people that isn't for everyone. You want to make sure that no matter what sketchbook you're using or working in, that your paints are going to look the same as if you were using them on high quality artist paint or from one sketchbook to another, depending on if you decide to try different brands of paint. So this brand might not be for everyone, but for me, I can accept that this brand is imperfect. I can accept that colors change and shift. I've chosen to embrace life's imperfections and not feel the need to always have perfect images, perfect paintings, perfect appear to life on social media. And that might sound weird, and maybe I shouldn't post it online, because what I do in the marketing world is create the perfect image for my clients. But in reality, for me, for Dime Culture, it's not about creating the perfect picture. It's about working on oneself. It's about healing. It's about using art so that you can express your emotions. You can deal with your anxiety and stress. And that's not pretty. Having a panic attack is not pretty. It's raw. It's emotions that are coming out of you, and you don't know why they're coming out of you, but they are. So that's why I've chosen to embrace just sharing. If I don't think it's perfect, I'm still sharing it. If I put a post on my Instagram and it's a saying of some kind and I'm staring at it going, these colors don't work well, or this hand lettering isn't perfect, I'm sharing it anyways. If we can accept that the companies we buy from or the products that we use aren't perfect, if we can accept that the paint that we use has limitations or has requirements, why can't we accept that of ourselves? Is QoR Paint perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. All right, guys, so we've reached the end of the video. I really hope you actually enjoyed this video. I know it's not like a typical review that you would see on other people's channels. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback in the comment section below, so don't hesitate to leave a message down there. And if you did like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you are interested in art and bringing that art into your life to use it as a healing means, definitely hit that subscribe button, because that's what we're all about here at Dime Culture, healing with art. All right, guys, I just want to say thank you. And until next time, stay magical.